Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. So for today's video, I've gone for this really glowy, brown, smoky-eyed glam. I didn't really know what I was filming today. All I knew was that I didn't want to use any foundation, I didn't want to use any lashes, and I kind of wanted to do a really smoky, blown out eye. And this is what I came up with. I don't have any foundation on. All I've got is a tinted moisturizer and obviously a lot of highlighter. I've only ended up using one eyeshadow to create this eye. I've used a base and an eyeshadow and I've got no lashes on whatsoever. So yeah, this is really, really easy to achieve. Like anybody, whether you know how to do makeup or if you don't know how to do makeup, this is so easy. You'll know how to do this. It's literally one eyeshadow and a tinted moisturizer. So if you'd like to see how to create this look, please stick around and I hope you enjoyed this video. So first things first, I need to add some hydration to my face because I am in the Sahara Desert since it's winter right now. So I'm applying the Tarte Drink of H2O all over my face and then bringing it down my neck to my decolletage area because I've just been dry as bloody desert. I hope you never go through the pain of dry skin. Anyway, moving on to the eyes, I'm taking my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW20 and applying this all over my eye as a base and then just setting it in place with just some powder. I'm taking this Laura Mercier Caviar Eye Stick in the shade Smoke and applying this on my eyelid. This is going to act as a base for our eyeshadow. I'm applying this closest to my lash line because I'm going to blend this out and it's pretty much going to cover my whole lid. So I'm just taking a flat shader brush and I'm using that to buff out the edges of that eye stick. I was about to say the base, I mean technically it is a base, but I'm using the flat shader brush to buff out the edges and I've actually left most of the footage for this so you guys can see that it actually takes a while to buff it out. I used to get so frustrated when I used to do this when I first started out doing makeup, and I used to get frustrated because I could never do it. It used to take forever, but realistically, it does take forever. You need to blend this out until your eyes literally hurt. With that same brush, I'm dipping into the Morphe 35O palette. I'm just taking this dark brown shade. I'm sure you can find the same shade anywhere. You don't have to use the same palette, but I'm using that and applying that directly on top of the base and then using that eyeshadow as well to buff out those edges. And I'm just going to continuously keep pushing and swirling around those edges because we really don't want those to look harsh. We want it to look really blown out and really smoky. So this part does take a while as well. And then I took a clean blending brush. This is my favorite Zoeva brush. And then just use that to blend out those edges. Again, I've left most of the blending footage so you guys can actually see it is a little bit time consuming to get that really blown out look. The key to most of these looks is always in the blending. Moving on to the face, I'm taking the Tarte Brighter Days. This is like a liquid highlighter and I'm taking this on to a fluffy eyeshadow brush. I like to use this because it's a lot more precise in applying a highlighter. I'm applying this to the tops of my cheekbones, to my temples and a little bit to the center of my forehead. I'm also going to be applying a little bit of this to my nose, my chin and my cupid's bow area. This is going to peek through nicely when we apply our base. And for my base, I'm using the Laura Mercier Illuminating Tinted Moisturizer. This is obviously a tinted moisturizer, but it's like a really illuminating one. It's got a lot of glow in it. So I'm applying this using a smaller brush. I believe this is a highlighter brush. I'm not too sure of the brand. But I am just buffing this all over my face with that brush and then pressing it in with my Beauty Blender. I find that using the Beauty Blender gets rid of any streaks and really pushes it into my skin, making it look like my own. I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I believe this is the shade Vanilla. But I'm applying a small amount of this below my eyes just to correct my dark circle. Not correct, but just to conceal my dark circles. And then pushing this in with my finger. Don't forget, guys, your fingers are your best tool. Make sure you use them. And then I'm just applying a little bit of that to my nose because I did have quite a bit of texture and redness to my nose. And I just needed that little extra coverage. Then I'm just going to take my Becca Multitasking Perfecting Powder and I'm just going to use that just to set directly below my under eyes. I'm not doing the entire area, just, you know, closer to my lash line where my creases are. Then I'm taking my Hourglass Mechanical Gel Liner. I'm obsessed with this thing. And I'm applying this to my lower lash line, and I'm using that to tightline my upper lash line. And then I am taking the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick once again and applying that to my lower lash line and slightly blending that out with a dense definer brush. Taking that Hourglass liner again, I'm going to apply a bit of that to my lower lash line, especially to cover like the skin areas that are showing between my lower lash line and my waterline. And then I am taking my flat shader brush and using that to blend that out and really like smoke it out. You then just want to curl your lashes. A cool tip is to heat up your eyelash curler with a blow dryer to get that perfect curl. And then you just want to apply some mascara. The one that I am using is by Zoeva and it's amazing. I'll leave the exact name of it down below. Then I am taking my favorite, the Benefit Hoola Light Bronzer, and I'm just applying this into the hollows of my cheekbones and around my temples to give me that really beautiful bronzy glow. For blush, I'm taking one of the new Fusion blushes by Hourglass. I'll leave it down below, or the exact shade down below, and I'm just applying that to the apples of my cheeks. And then for highlighter, I'm taking Becca and Jaclyn Hill's Champagne Pop, and I'm applying this with a small fluffy brush as well to get that really precise application and to have a little bit more control of where I'm applying my highlighter. So I'm applying that to the tops of my cheekbones, my temples, kind of bringing it into my forehead. I'm applying a little bit of that to my brow bone, and also a tiny bit to my nose and my Cupid's bow. I know this is a lot of like highlighting products, but because my skin is so dry in winter, I just want it to glow. So then we want to move on to lips, and I'm using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in the shade 1993. And then I am using two liquid lipsticks by Black Moon Cosmetics, the first one in the shade Morning and the second one in Libra, dotting just a small amount of each and then just blending it out with my finger. So this is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. As always, I absolutely love hearing your feedback, and if you didn't enjoy this look, still let me know so I know what not to film anymore. If you did enjoy, be sure to give me a massive thumbs up because that helps me so much. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.